Hi everyone, and thanks so much for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I create videos to help families decide if moving to Ottawa is the right decision for them and help answer the multitude of questions newcomers obviously have about Ottawa. Today we are going to talk about some of the things I actually hate about Ottawa. And these will not be general things that you can Google, like the weather or traffic. I will cover truly unique aspects about Ottawa that you might have not necessarily known unless you actually live here. So if in fact you are thinking about moving to Ottawa, then keep watching. Now, before we get started, I focus on finding families the right neighborhood to live in here in Ottawa, based on their personal situation and what they are looking for in their new city. If this sounds like something you need, then check out my neighborhood quiz linked below, where I will send you personalized neighborhood recommendations specifically for you and your family. All right, so let's get into it. Here are 5 things I hate about Ottawa. Okay, so right off the bat, let's start with the fact that Ottawa has actually banned plastic bags as well as plastic straws. When you go grocery shopping, you have to bring your own bags or buy reusable ones. I can come to terms with this, but paper straws really are a nightmare. Just think of sitting in a movie theater for 2 hours drinking out of a soggy cardboard straw. I get that it's better for the environment, but we need to come up with a better solution. If you currently live abroad, this might be an interesting change for you, and you might agree cardboard straws are the worst. Okay, so on to the next thing I hate about Ottawa. If you want to order anything online from the States, you will obviously need to pay the exchange rate, which isn't great, but then you will also need to pay almost double for shipping normally, as well as pay the Canadian taxes, and in some cases you need to pay duties as well, which can be 30% of the purchase price. Over time, you'll start to hesitate ordering anything from an American website. Although this is a very minor inconvenience, it still sucks and it's often overlooked. All right, so here in Ottawa, you need to make sure you know how to read and understand our complex parking signs. Ottawa can be a confusing city to find parking, and most importantly, avoid getting a ticket. This might sound like a no-brainer, but street parking here can be quite complex. And don't forget, you have to be aware of parking bans, which happen in our winter months when we have a lot of snowfall. Our bylaw agents are incredibly strict here, and more often than not, if you are not parked correctly, you will get a ticket. The mentality of, okay, we'll risk it and see what happens. Trust me, most of the time you will get a ticket, and I can tell you that from experience. And worst of all, they're not cheap. On average, a parking ticket is around $100. So obviously the winter months are cold in Ottawa, and I'm sure you already know that. I, however, have something to add. During the winter months, and this is my least favorite thing to do, and that is getting gas. You might not realize, but standing in -20, holding the gas pump, waiting for your car to fill is not fun. Maybe it's just me, but I actually dread getting gas in the winter months, and particularly on cold days. Now, another thing I hate about Ottawa is all of the stop signs. Although this does add to the safety, and it's obviously good for our suburbs, but trust me, once you start driving here, you'll notice there is a stop sign on every corner. Maybe that's why we have to get our brakes done so often here. So that is my list of the 5 things I personally hate about Ottawa. I always try to come up with points that might be hard to find on Google, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.